Hello, all. Today, I would like to talk to you guys about major depression disorder. Major depression disorder is a form of mental illness. Depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States of America. By being most common, that means it's the most highest populated. There are many impacts that it can have on you as well as your family, both male, female, or any other way that you may identify. It affects everybody that walks the face of this earth. It can impact your feelings. There may be emotional imbalance and you're not understanding what is going on. You may not understand why you're feeling so tired. Why are you irritated? It affects the way you think. There may be times where an individual may have irrational thoughts. Has there ever been a time that you're talking to someone and the things that they're saying, it doesn't add up? That could be a warning of major depression. It does impact the way you handle your everyday activities. There are times where individuals will lay in the bed all day. Now, I'm not saying this if it's someone who needs rest, if they've been going and working, or if they've had some other type of physical illness that they just need to relax and need to take time, because we all need to spend a day in the bed. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if this is consistent behavior, week after week, day after day, then definitely there is a sign of major depression or something else a bit more serious. However, major depression is very serious. It can lead to other ailments. Major depression can actually end up into the form of bipolar or schizophrenia if it goes untreated. The causes of major depression are unknown. They're still, in the lab kind of figuring it out, studying it. But we do understand that it can be triggered by family history. You may have someone in your family that had suffered from major depression. And believe it or not, any type of ailment or illness or trauma to the body, it makes an impression on our DNA, and that will and can pass down through the lineage. Traumatic life changes. That can mean anything. That can mean a sudden move in children. That can mean a sudden loss of a family member for anybody. That can mean a loss of relationship, both intimate and family. That can mean strain on relationships, anything traumatic, illnesses such as death, stress. Let's go to stress. I'm not going to skip ahead. Stress definitely can cause major depression. I did a video previously on stress management. If you had not viewed it, please go by and look at my playlist, like, share, and subscribe. This is a very important project that I am so happy to have created. I will continuously add to this, and I would love for this project to grow. If you have any questions or any other content that you want to hear, this is a shameless plug. Please do comment in the comment section. Also, you can find me on CommunityVocal at CommunityVocal on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Definitely get my DMs and let me know what's going on. If you need help with anything I can help, maybe possibly navigate some resources for you. I can't subscribe to long sessions, but I will definitely try to put out content out there to kind of give you some idea where you can find resources at. Also, death, like I was mentioning, death definitely causes major depression. Grief is a real thing, and it's important that we all acknowledge that, hey, sometimes we need help. Sometimes we experience changes in our lives that are beyond our control, and it is a burden on us sometimes, which can produce major depression. diabetes has such an effect on the body that it can change your mood. Also, just, there's so many other complications with diabetes that can, hinder and alter your mood as well. Cancer, that's a very long, stressful ailment. Just the art of knowing that you may not survive it. That can be very depressing for people, as well as heart disease, kind of along the same lines of a very progressive lung disease for people at times, and you can isolate it. Also, Parkinson's disease. The isolation piece to infirmities, ailments, or sicknesses is very triggering to major depression. So it's important to support those around us that we know that may be experiencing these things. Also, it's important for those who know that they are experiencing these things to seek out resources, ask for help, and that's my main thing here today. Also, like I mentioned earlier, relationships, both friendly or intimate, can reduce a major depression if things are not going right or if there's a loss. So please do speak out and seek out help. The signs. There's many signs and trigger warnings that you may not be aware of, because major depression is one of those things. Like the Bahamas or something like that, or Jamaican rum punch. It's so great, and life may be going on. Life may be happening. You're not being aware of that. You're being intoxicated. You're not being aware that something's actually going on. You're not being aware that you're being affected by some things, right? And then it just sneaks up on you. Okay? Major depression has had that effect. I've serviced many clients who, when I did, allow them to, with their diagnosis where they had no idea, like, what, like depression, like, I don't, that's not me. That's not what I'm going on. That's not it. It's like, you honestly meet the criteria for such. So, and those behaviors prove it. Now, the signs of chronic feelings of sadness. Now, we get sad about something. Sometimes I have to stop watching the news because I am such a loving person that it does hurt, right? So that's different. That's not really chronic, and I monitor that, and I, remove myself from those situations. Chronic means constantly. You're constantly sad. That is a sign that you may be experiencing depression, anxiety, just the fear of the unknown, constantly being fearful and anxious, and just, constantly impatient, and that can weigh down on you, which causes anxiety, depression. Panic attacks, which is like a cousin or precursor, or, an ending result of anxiety. Sleeping problems, you're tossing and turning all night, or sometimes you just don't sleep because you're worried, or you're overly concerned, or you have anxiety about whatever the issue is. Appetite change. I have service clients who say, I just don't eat. I haven't eaten in a week. I haven't eaten in a few days. I've personally experienced that in my lifetime. So yes, that is a real thing. We're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Qualitative data. Life changes. Sleeping problems, panic attacks, anxiety, chronic feelings of sadness, and definitely a sure sign of major depression. Fatigue and lack of energy. Now, let's not think like this. If you're just tired and you're exhausted and you've been working, constantly back to back, that's not what I'm talking about. This is about having those feelings of tiredness or fatigue. You haven't done anything. You've been in the bed all this time. So after a week or two, you're still exhausted. And this is the reason. Because mental illness is a product of overproduction of chemicals that are produced in the brain, and serotonin and dopamine and things, right? So by constantly reproducing itself at mass amounts, mass rates, quickly, that puts a strain on the body, and it makes you tired, right? It's like sometimes I've heard people explain it as, I just can't shit my I just can't sit down. I just can't do this. Meaning that, they may not have like the mood changes, the anger mood changes like bipolar, or they may not be disconnected from thoughts or their mind like schizophrenia, or have intellectual delays like IDD, just things like that. Now, outside of that, just a person who is physically healthy, but for some reason that mental part of you is reproducing chemicals in massive amounts. That part, that can definitely, like I said earlier, create fatigue and lack of energy. So be mindful of that. Treatment, of course, there's treatment. You will survive, definitely. Major depression disorder can be managed with various treatments, such as pharmacological, psychotherapy, and lifestyle modification. So the initial treatment of MDD, which is major depression disorder, it definitely has been proven for successful outcomes with these things. What is pharmacological? Pharmacological means basically medicine defined. I do encourage that, if you decide to take medications, which is people do take medications that have major depression or other illness. Some don't. It just depends on the person. And it's okay to understand that everybody's different. Everybody processes things very differently, and it's okay. It really is okay. There's antidepressants, there's second generation antidepressants, and serotonin. So definitely reach out to the clinical staff near you at your doctor's office. Definitely to consult with your PCP about these things. If you know that you're having these feelings, and once you do start taking medications, it's important that you monitor your feeling and how you're doing. I would encourage you not to stop abruptly with your medications. Talk to your prescriber first and see if they can tweak it. Maybe lessen it or up the dosages. It's really a learning process, and everyone is different, which is perfectly fine. Life changes. That's more of a holistic way to kind of alleviate major depression. You can add this in conjunction with psychotherapy and pharmacological, or you can just choose to do this. It helps reduce stress. You exercise, you get good rest and sleep, and definitely being mindful. See, I put exercise here twice by accident, but I'm glad I did that. So we're going to stress that because there are great results in exercising, because literally it grabs a hold of these serotonins and dopamines that are over reproducing in your body. So it kind of just grabs it like, hey, slow down. So don't be ashamed to reach out for help. Psychotherapy, basically it's talk therapy. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means that, hey, you need somebody to talk to. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to you. This is talk therapy. I do this all the time. Even though we are not face-to-face and we cannot respond to each other, I'm still talking to you, and it's still helpful for you to figure out how to locate resources or basically become aware. This is all about awareness, community health. Psychotherapy can be produced in one-on-one sessions or group sessions. It can help you adjust to the crisis and negative beliefs and behaviors. Find better ways to cope and solve your problems. Also, setting realistic goals. It can be in your mind all day, all night. I would do this, I'm going to do that. But actually writing these goals down, setting smart goals, make them attainable, make them reachable, make them make sense. It's okay to sit down and talk with someone. If you don't have a family of social support, just reach out to mental health professionals such as myself, and we are glad to service you. This also helps you regain a sense of control and satisfaction in your life. For additional resources, please do not hesitate to reach out to the national hotline. Now, it does not only service those who are contemplating suicide or having some type of crisis in life, because major depression can lead to those things, but it's also for those who need additional resources. It's not a counseling line, but it's a line to help you find out to someone, do not hesitate. Do not be afraid. We are all in this together. We all have faced some type of change within our mental status at one point in time. There are people walking around us that we have no idea that have mental illness, but they're in recovery. And they found the resources to